Hey everybody, Mike here with Kamp-Rite again. Today we're talking about the OCTC443, the oversized compact tent cot from Kamp-Rite. It's been one of our popular selling models. This is a single tent cot, and this is the oversized version. We do make a smaller one. We also make a double. You can find those all on our website. We're going to talk about how to set this up today, talk about some of the features, and so let's get started. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this set up. First thing we're going to do is pull it out of the bag. Pretty simple. Unzip this down here. So what you're going to find in here is there's going to be a tent body, a rain fly, and a cot. Let's pull those out. You're also going to find a couple poles. We're going to go through all of this for you. First thing I'm going to do is set the tent body aside, the poles aside, and the rain fly. We're going to come back to that here in just a minute. We're going to pull the the cot out of the bag. Just like so. It's got a little Velcro strap holding the legs together. And we're gonna fold this baby out. Just like so. Now if you look at the bottom here, you're gonna notice there's a little gear bag down here, so you want to keep note of that as far as which way it's facing, because that does play into where you put your tent body. Let's go ahead and flip this up. All right, so here we have the OCTC tent body, and has Velcro around the rim, and that is to attach it to the actual cot itself. Now, there's one door on this tent, so that's why I said take note of where your gear lock or your gear bag is. This is facing me, so I'm going to put the door on this side. Loosely placed on there. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach my Velcro. I'm going to come back and adjust that afterwards. That'll hold it on there while we put the poles in. Pretty simple. All right. So there's the body. There's the door. Now let's put some poles in place. Okay folks, now that I've got the cot down and the tent body attached with Velcro, the Velcro attaches under the cot all the way around. I pulled my poles out. I've got 2 poles here and 2 spreader bars. The spreader bars will go on last. This is the only compact tent cot that uses the spreader bars. I'm going to set those aside for just a second. And we're going to go ahead and put these on. All right, now that we got the poles in place, like I mentioned earlier, this is the only compact tent cot that uses the spreader bars on the end. The spreader bars are because this cot is a little bit taller, a little bit wider. It needs these to kind of hold the outer walls apart. So that goes right here. Gives a little more rigidity in the wind. Right here and right there. All right, now we've got our poles set up, our spreader bars are in. We'll talk a little bit about the features inside the OCTC443. So the material on this does have a waterproofing on it. So for that quick little afternoon spritzer you might get camping, it's fine, it's not gonna get wet. We do have a Rain Fly, we're gonna talk about that in just a minute. I do wanna mention some of the features inside. So for instance, you notice on the ends here we have these little ventilation windows. These will zip open. Okay, just like so. And what I usually do is leave them zipped up just a little bit so you can roll this inside the window so it stays right there. Now these tents, because they are a small space, one user, you get a lot of exhaling going on in there, you get a lot of condensation if you're not ventilating properly. The only time you'd want to put the Rain Fly on this tent is if it's raining. If you put that Rain Fly on in nice weather like this, you're gonna get condensation, and no doubt. So that's always been one of the biggest concerns with this, is it is a small space and it does get a lot of condensation. So definitely keep it ventilated. Don't put the Rain Fly on unless you've got rain. All right? All right, so features on this Compact Tent Cot, pretty basic, but we have stash pockets on the inside of both doors. You got your windows, we spoke of that. Now, because you're sleeping on an actual cot, you don't really need a pad. This is a very comfortable suspended sleeping area. The only reason you would want to add a pad, obviously a little more comfort is nice. However, tent cots get air beneath them. So when you're in cold environments, you might want a little bit of padding just to give you that extra R value, a little bit of warmth underneath, sometimes even just a wool blanket. We do sell pads that fit perfectly in these tent cots. So take a look at those on our website as well, but just about any will fit. So this is our oversized. It's very roomy. I am 6'2". I have plenty of room in here. I also have plenty of room if I want to sit up. That is the advantage of the oversized tent cots. Again, this is one of our #1 sellers. We love it. Got our gear loft down here below, so you can put your shoes in there and or your other gear. So one of the unique features of the Compact Tent Cot is that it's basically 3 units in one. You obviously have a tent cot, but you also have a tent in and of itself, and you also have a cot. So for instance, let's say you're going out to the beach for the day. You could take the upper part with you and make a nice little beach shelter just by popping that off, setting it in the sand. The other thing you have here, what if you got friends coming over staying the night and you need a cot? You've also got a cot. So again, 3 in 1. You got a cot, you got a tent, you got a tent cot. Okay folks, so we did talk about the usage of the Rain Fly, when to use it and when not to use it. Again, this has a little bit of waterproofing, so a quick little spritzer in the afternoon, the campsite's not going to hurt this. You're going to stay nice and dry. Now in heavier rain, you're obviously going to want to put the Rain Fly on. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, we got a Rain Fly on there. As you probably noticed in the quick little video there's buckles on the end and a little bit of elastic which holds it around the corner. The buckles are kind of secondary in case those pop off. You also have these little ties here, which if you want to, you can tie this around the leg just to keep things a little bit more snug, to keep the rain shedding off. Ideally, you want to keep the rain shedding out and away from the cot. If it gets into the material here, it's going to get you wet. So just make sure that that's always the case, and you will sleep nice and toasty. Again, remember, ventilation, ventilation, ventilation. Try to keep that ventilated as possible. Keep those windows open on the inside so you don't get any condensation, and you will sleep nice and dry.